1019 RXP, Sarah Watkins in the studio, and too much in the studio with Sean Watkins and John Paul Jones at 1019 RXP. It's Matt Pinfield in the morning with Leslie Freeman, 8:35. Great song. Well, I love that. I really do. It sounded great. You know, you can do some other, like Norman Blake, Jimmy Rogers on your record, and John Bryan.
Yeah.
So it's cool. But you wrote quite a few songs on the record as well, Sarah.
I think about half.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was really fun. It's nice being able to sing those.
Yeah, I'm doing those covers and things. It must have been a blast. I got to ask you, John. You know, it's funny. I know that right after the Zeppelin reunion, you had my friend told me, he called me up. He's like, man, he goes, I just went over to a barbecue with John Paul Jones, and we had a great time jamming out, around a fire, jamming all that. It was like Robin Hitchcock, a bunch of guys from Nashville, and my buddy Earl Brown, you know, the actor from Deadwood.
Yes, yes.
Tell me about that barbecue. Was that a thing? You got a bunch of guys in town for the Zeppelin reunion. You said, hey, let's go back to my place tomorrow and just kind of have a get together. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah,
John.
I mean, I had some friends in England, but mainly most of them seem to have been from Nashville. It was like the Bluegrass Zeppelin trip.
Yeah.
And all these people came over, Bela Fleck and Ronnie McCoury and Brown, and I think he came with a guy called Ferg.
Yeah.
Who was Johnny Cash's engineer.
Yeah, and he said you guys had a blast. Like Robert Hitchcock
great.
was there.
There was there was two jams going. There was an old time jam upstairs and the bluegrass jam downstairs.
Yeah, and Earl was excited because you actually played on one of the songs he wrote. He was like, man, John Paul Jones played on one of my tunes. It's so cool.
I wasn't aware that he'd written the song.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, John, you know, you think back, I mean, when you doing sessions in the 60s, you know, playing on Donovan Records or Herman Terman, it's the stuff you did with Mickey Most and all that.
Right.
I mean, is that where, as a producer, is that when you really started learning the studios from that period of time, was through arranging?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I became a studio musician when I was 18, and then I became an arranger when somebody asked me to sort out a session. It was not going well.
Which one was that?
I can't actually.
Can you at least tell us the band? It doesn't matter who produces it.
No, it was for Mickey Mouse, but I mean, somebody had asked me, can you do arrangements? And I went, yeah, sure. You know, I got a book.
Yeah, really? You taught yourself that way?
Yeah, basically that's what you did, you know. Accept my dad said, accept everything.
Yeah.
And then figure out how to do it later.
Well, I mean, when you
what
think
I've done all my life.
which is great, though. But that was the thing, when you and Jimmy Page started, you guys were actually making money, and of course Bonzo and...
That's right. They
And,
thought I was crazy to give up, you know, a top-line session job. To go on the road, you know, you're mad.
Yeah. People said that. You're going on the road to America
Yeah.
for 24 dates, right? That was the first tour.
It
Do you
was.
believe it's been 40 years now? John Paul Jones here, 40 years since the first two
Thank
records
you so
came
much
out.
for reminding me.
Now, I don't, can I say this much, John, though? Those records hold up. They're fantastic. And, you know, hey, it's a testament to the music. Sarah, let's talk about Long Hot Summer Days, this next track that you're going to do for us. And
This is a John Hartford song.
yeah.
One of the covers.
Yeah, I mean, when it came time to pick these covers, what was the criteria for that?
Well, this is just we just picked our favorites, and also I think all the pre-production for this, since John was in London and I was in San Diego, a lot of it was just emailing songs back and forth, and I think a lot of the covers we fit around the original songs that I'd written and just piecing it together and figuring out which covers added to the general collection. And this is a really fun song that I learned to play solo for solo shows that I could just play fiddle with, and it turned into a really fun party when there were other people to slam away as well.
Now, if you just tuned in, we're in the studio right now with Sarah Watkins from Nickel Creek, who has a new solo record out on None Such. It came out on the 7th. Her brother Sean Watkins is here to play as well. And John Paul Jones, of course, you know, is the arranger, producer, and member of Led Zeppelin. Now, Long Hot Summer Days, you're going to do for us right now. I'd love to hear you do another song. In the studio, 1019 RXP.
Gonna pack up some of these empties here just as soon as we know where they every day work on the Illinois River, get half a day off with pay. I'm told about building up barges on a long hot summer day. Last night we had pork for supper. Today we'll eat chicken consomme and a jar full of iced tea on a long hot summer day. For every day work on the Illinois River, get half a day off with pay. I'm told about building up barges on a long hot summer day. Well, we put 'em in off in Beardstown when we come down yesterday. I'm gonna get high on it on a long hot summer day. For every day work on the Illinois River, get half a day off with pay. I'm told about building up barges on a long hot summer day. For every day work on the Illinois River, get half a day off with pay. I'm told about building up barges on a long hot summer day.
1019 RSP live in the studio with Sarah Watkins from her new debut solo album, Long Hot Summer Day. She's in the studio with Sean Watkins and John Paul Jones, and sounded great. Now, you're playing the Mercury Lounge. What is the date of that show?
The 22nd.
22nd.
And we're also on the Jimmy Fallon show tonight.
Oh, are you?
Awesome.
So I
Yeah.
didn't know about that. You're on Jimmy Fallon tonight on NBC.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And we're gonna have a drummer,
Are you? Who's going to play drums?
Questlove.
Oh, that's right. All right.
It's gonna be really
Nice.
fun.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, who's on the road? Talk about your band. Who's playing with you?
It varies from show to show, actually, depending on availability. Sean's going to be the consistent wingman here, and then also there's going to be our friend Don Heffington's going to be in town playing drums for the New York show, and then we'll also have Sebastian Steinberg, who's on the record, playing some bass for a good part of the tour.
I was
as
going to
well.
ask if John was going to show up at any of the shows to play bass.
You never know. You never know.
Surprise guest.
I think that'll be great. John, you know everybody asks you, I'm sure, but obviously as Zeppelin fans, everybody was really excited about the chance of a reunion. Now that Robert and Allison, are taking a little time, is there a possibility you think that you guys will do some road stuff? Because man, we would love it.
It's extremely unlikely.
Yeah,
Extremely unlikely.
yeah. Just everybody going in their own direction at this point in time.
Yeah, yeah. Robert's doing his thing. I'm in town with Merce Cunningham this week.
Oh, are you? Cool.
With the Academy of Music.
Oh, that's great. Very good. Well, it's great to have you here. I tell you, you were all great. It was nice to have you in the studio today.
Thanks for
Sounded
having us.
fantastic. All the way back to Carlsbad, California, to that pizza parlor. Came a long way, right? I mean, I think it's fantastic. All right, it's great. Well, thanks
Thank you,
for
guys.
coming
That
in.
was
It was really a
awesome.
pleasure to have you guys. John Paul Jones, Sean Watkins, Sarah Watkins. Pick up Sarah's album. It's out now. It's her debut record. It came out on the 7th. You can buy it in stores and online as well. It's 1019 RXP, Matt Pinfield in the morning.